altitudes of 2,000 feet and below, we're testing the spread of bioweapons with this inert, non-threatening bacteria. And then you Google Subtilis globigi, and you're on all the major sites, university medical sites, saying this is a very dangerous bacteria for all mammal species, respiratory, you name it. So, and that's just one example I'm honing in on to cover there. Of thousands. Remember, this is a criminal eugenics government. Our government's been hijacked by bankers who believe in eugenics and financed Hitler and everything else in the last century. They're setting up the bioethics boards. It's the mainline view in the biology departments that they've got to cull 80 to 90% of the population. Dr. Peter Singer, Dr. Pianka, all these people running around saying it constantly. And then they're in control of the shadow government, and they admittedly took 4,000 plus U.S. foster children and radiated them to death. Just Google radiation tested on children, and you'll get the Atomic Energy Agency, UN reports admitting it. You'll get the Department of Energy apologizing for it, how they took the little kids and strapped them down and radiated them to death. All different, variants. Some they gave a light dose, some a medium dose, different types of, chambers they put them in to fry them. And then they told Israel, we'll give you a couple $2 billion from the 50s until the early 60s for 10 years if you take 110,000 plus Sephardic Jewish children, it's specified for some reason. That's the Arab-looking on average Jews, the darker-skinned Jews. And if you radiate them, and so they took them, and most of them died. They were given different variants. And that's Jerusalem Post, Haaretz, all the major papers. So there's thousands and 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 thousands of admitted programs, and some programs there's only one person they test a bioweapon on or LSD on, and other programs there's hundreds of thousands. There's eugenics programs where they took 500,000+ American women who would make lower than a B+ on their test. I mean, that's the official documents. It's in Endgame, and sterilize them. So that's what this whole system is. And then we notice suddenly in the mid-90s that condensation trails start disappearing in hours, not even disappearing, expanding in hours, and not going away in minutes. And then now I'm sitting here looking at 1992 reports. Look at this. Policy implications of greenhouse warming mitigation application in science, 1992. You can go read this government-funded report. Policy implications of greenhouse warming mitigation adaptation in science base, nap.edu, National Academy of Sciences, and they talk about chemtrail spraying and how they're going to do it. And boy, did they land. You got a Nobel Prize winner, got a Nobel Prize right around that time. This is all hidden in plain view. Talking about having planes dispersed this and having it mixed in with the fuel. And then you've got all these Council on Foreign Relations reports, May 5th, 2008. They just put out another one 2 weeks ago. That's what Obama's science advisor is talking about in the Associated Press and London Guardian. Saying, oh, yeah, we may have to start geoengineering things. We may have to start spraying particulates to create cloud cover to protect us from the greenhouse effect. When actually, most of the studies show that I've seen, we talked to climatologists, that more cloud cover at first cools things down, but then heats things up. So it's just insane. I think they actually know we're going into an ice age, and they're trying to heat things. These people are out of their minds. But, I mean, here it all is, and, the issue here is that they're now introducing it. Oh, yeah, we're going to start spraying you to save you. And then you read the actual documents. They call thousands of flights a month spraying us that they admit testing. We're having to, it's kind of like they Again, they've been spying on you with the NSA without warrants for years, and now they say, oh, yeah, now we're passing a law to retroactively make it okay, or, oh, yeah, we're building FEMA camps. You know, we built these camps, and we've set up old military bases, but now we want a law giving it more funding and authorizing it. And the law is a complete blueprint of what we've laid out in films of how they have set up the camps, how they're going to introduce them to you, how they're going to sell them to you like they're Disneyland or something. And sure enough, that's how they're introducing them. Club FEMA. Look at this headline, London Guardian. Obama climate advisor open to geoengineering to tackle global warming. So see, that's how they introduce it to you. Not with a bang, but with a whimper. Just, oh, yeah. I can continue in the great spirit of Max Kaiser with him describing the fiat money, the trillions they're producing a month, the bankers, as, as worthless as passing gas. And continue the analogy. It's like opening the borders, legalizing all the illegals, trying to pass more gun laws, openly trying to set up a new world currency and ending the dollar hegemon. It's kind of like they're at a dinner party and they don't want to get up to go to the bathroom, so they just kind of try to let it slip out there, you know. It's like trying to silently pass gas at a dinner party. That's what the New World Order does. Obama's now, his administration, his science advisor, in his first interview, the first thing he talks about is this. When I say Obama, the voice of his administration. This is all scripted. The first thing they do is just kind of let this slip out. Everybody's like, what's that horrible smell? And I don't know. I mean, a little bit of humor here, folks. Because if we don't laugh about this, we'll cry. And that's not good, is it? Paul Watson said an excellent story that links in all the CFR documents, government documents, AP reports, all of it. The government is already geoengineering the environment. The government is already geoengineering the environment. And then you can read this. It has links to the government and the admissions and the aerosol spraying campaign. You Google that, and it's like,
all right, I'm in a real hurry.
Literally thousands of documents. It will blow your mind. It is like the last scene in Raiders of the Lost Ark where they go into that big warehouse and there's just thousands and thousands, tens of thousands of crates and boxes. It's like going into that warehouse and just popping crate after crate open and reading what they're doing to us. And they don't care. They know the public doesn't read scientific documents. But let me just explain. The global government is already spraying the atmosphere everywhere, and that's only one part of the program. I keep telling people, when they're spraying at 10,000 feet or 5,000 feet, that is not meant for your area. That's coming down somewhere else out of the jet stream. We'll be right back. I'll make my own observations about this and get into a bunch of other news. We are back live, ladies and gentlemen. Thank you for joining us.
They made Redford such a star.
Now, if you study how the jet streams, and there's quite a few major jet streams and a whole bunch of substreams, they go up to 100,000 feet. They come down to 70,000 feet. They go back to 30,000 feet. They come in to ground zero. And one of the larger jet streams comes in right over New Mexico, Texas, Louisiana. It moves back and forth about 500, 600-mile area every few days. You can watch the satellite feeds. Just Google satellite feeds jet streams and then find that jet stream, and you can watch the 7-day animation they do from the different satellite photos. You can see the jet stream moving back and forth, and you'll see it. It dumps on average right over the middle of Texas. And that's why you'll always hear, oh, there's red dirt over everybody's cars today. That came in from China and Mongolia. And that's why universities study how spiders and bugs and gnats frozen, because they get put up into the upper atmosphere. They get caught up in the wind, taken up. Sometimes junk, balloons, that have already popped, pieces of paper from all over Asia come raining down in Texas. That's because the jet stream dumps right in over New Mexico, Texas, Louisiana, sometimes going out as far as the panhandle of Florida and Mississippi. And that's why China burning all the toxic waste and this pollution is a real issue environmentally. That is just coming right into Texas. Some of it dumps into the Gulf of Mexico. But I'm already digressing. This is the issue with the atmosphere. That's why every time they use depleted uranium in a war in Afghanistan or Iraq, uranium detectors that they have in the United States and Canada and England all go off the charts, and in Europe, because the jet stream is blowing across the United States, across the Atlantic, across the Mediterranean, across the Middle East, across Asia, Central Asia, Southeast Asia, right across the Pacific, and then right through the United States, and then back over England, and then it goes around and around that way. Around and around it goes. So they use depleted uranium. I mean, it's in the tens of thousands of tons now. Just so poisonous. Not just radioactive, but poisonous. Just deadly.